I came as fast as I could. Are you all right? My horse sustained an injury from a hunting trap out on the old road. The poor beast could go no further. I had to leave him with a kind farmer and travel the rest of the way on foot through the woods. It took me longer than I wished, but I kept moving. I would not stop until I reached you. Your hand is so cold. Let me warm it between mine for a time. Under my armor, I must stand and fight like any man. It is my sworn duty to my country and my king. Yet, beneath every layer of steel and boiled leather, I am still the woman that cares for you. That truth never changes, no matter what I wear or how I speak. When was the last time you ate anything? 3 weeks is far too long for anyone to go without proper food. I brought what I could carry from the last village. Plenty of good bread, still firm enough to last. Dried lentils that will cook soft and filling with just a bit of water. And pocket soup I prepared before I left. It needs only hot water poured over it and it will warm you right through. Can you drink it all? I brought a bit of wine as well. Not much, but enough to help if your throat is too dry to swallow. You thought no one was coming to save you, that you would be left here to die alone in this bed. I could never abandon you. Even if the whole world forgot your name and turned its back upon you, I would always remember. I would always come. Nothing could keep me from this door. That was a cruel thing she did to a child. No girl should learn to lose hope so young. Even back then, if I had known what was happening beneath your mother's roof, I would have come running, without a shred of fear, without any doubt that it was the right thing to do. I would have taken you from that place myself. Leaving you to die alone in the home we built together would be an unforgivable sin. I could not bear the thought of it, not for a single day. Foolish girl. Who was it that told you no one was coming? Tell me true. Your mother. Then hear me now and hold these words close. Your mother is a liar and a worker of iniquity. She spoke false words to break your spirit when it was still young. I was always coming. It is not true that you have to save yourself. That is a lie she planted long ago, and it has no root here in this room. I will never leave you alone to suffer. I will never forget who you are or what you mean to me. Not while I draw breath in this world. You are not a burden to be cast aside. You are the reason I keep returning. If I am killed in the war, my spirit will walk the earth for thousands of years until it finds you again. Death itself will not keep me from you. I promise it with every part of my soul. The world levies cruelty against you to break you down and grind you into submission. It offers insults and rituals of humiliation to punish you for the simple crime of being human. And when the abuse leaves you sick and unable to rise from this bed, it turns away and it leaves you for dead. But I will not. I hear your cries. I hear every bit of your anguish in the quiet of the night. All I ask is that you let me be a source of comfort to you. Let me take some of that pain away and carry it for a while. You are sweating. Let me clean your face. This illness has taken so much from you. It clings to your body like a heavy chain, draining your strength with every passing day. It leaves you weak and far more vulnerable than you have ever been, unable to rise and tend to even the smallest tasks. The fever burns through you, and the ache in your limbs makes every breath feel like a struggle. I see how it strips away the fire that usually lives in your eyes and leaves you fragile beneath these blankets. But you are not alone in this fight. I am here now to help carry what feels too heavy. There now. That feels better, does it not? Close your eyes if you wish, while I tell you something from long ago. In Italy, there once lived 2 boys named Romeo and Alfredo. They were orphans with no parents to shield them from the hardships of the world. They slept in narrow alleys and cold doorways, stealing scraps of bread to stay alive. When they were caught, they were thrown into the harsh orphanage run by cruel overseers. The older boys there were brutal as well. They stole what little food the younger ones received and forced them to do their heavy chores. Romeo was often locked in a freezing cellar for days with nothing but a cup of water. Alfredo was made to kneel on sharp stones until his knees bled and he could barely stand. At night, the children were sometimes chained to their wooden beds so they could not run away into the darkness. The hunger never left their bellies. Their bodies grew thin and weak from lack of proper meals. Some nights they cried quietly into their sleeves so the guards would not hear and punish them further. The work was endless. They were sent to labor in fields and workshops from dawn until their hands blistered and their backs ached beyond bearing. The cold winter winds cut through their thin clothes. Illness swept through the orphanage and many children were left untended. Yet, they did not have to rescue themselves from their suffering. Help came from unexpected places when they needed it the most. A kind baker down the narrow street began leaving extra loaves of bread wrapped in cloth by the back door of the orphanage each evening. He never asked for payment or thanks. He simply left the food where the boys could find it when the guards were not watching. A young priest who visited the orphanage about once a week noticed the bruises on their arms and the empty bowls at mealtime. He started bringing small packets of medicine hidden inside his robes. He whispered words of hope and prayers when no one else was near, telling them they were not forgotten. Later, a wealthy widow who had once been poor herself heard their story from the priest during a confession. She opened the doors of her own home to them. She gave them warm beds with clean linens, sturdy clothes that fit their growing frames, and taught them to read by the light of the hearth fire each evening. She found honest work for them that did not break their bodies. A local doctor visited without demanding coin, treating their wounds and fevers with careful hands. Neighbors brought blankets and extra vegetables from their gardens. A farmer on the edge of town hid them in his barn during the coldest months and shared milk from his cows. A seamstress mended their torn garments by lamplight and slipped coins into their pockets when they passed her shop. Slowly, with all this help, Romeo and Alfredo grew stronger. They learned they were not alone in their pain. The world had been cruel, but it also held people willing to reach out a steady hand. Those small acts of kindness became the ladder that lifted them out of despair. They carried that lesson forward for the rest of their lives, helping other children when they could. Their story shows that even the deepest darkness can be broken by light brought from outside when one least expects it. There, I told you a story. Now close your eyes and rest. Your mother's world is outside these 4 walls. It is far away from the safety inside this room where you are loved and watched over. Even when you can no longer believe I am coming, I will believe for you. I will find you no matter where you are. So sleep. I am here, and I will not leave.